Hey, friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome to the pilot episode of tier ranking shit.
Yeah,
tier
great
ranking
name.
Things. Yeah, I probably won't keep the shit in there. But yeah, figured, you know what, man, people have been doing this for a little while now, and we have yet to, like, I did a couple on WrestleJuice, but you and I, as a tandem, have yet to hop into the tier ranking fray, Larson.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, I don't know what he was even doing. I came across a little graphic with all the Raw logos from days past.
Yeah.
And figured I would go ahead and it'd be kind of fun to test this out. And if I like how it works, I'm going to put it up on the Friendo Club TV.
There we go. Let's see how contentious this gets.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, there's one thing you and I abhor. It's a collaboration.
Yeah. Can't stand it.
Wait. I have my opinion. You have your opinion. And damn it. If so, I mean, hopefully we'll agree on everything. And there won't have any strong words for each other.
Well, I bet if we agree on anything, I don't think that's going to make for the most compelling of content. So
that's true. I've seen some of these, and granted, I know they've been like a little bit deeper, but heavier, like entire rosters where Cultaholic, they spend like an hour and 40 minutes on a single tier rank. So yeah, I mean, let me ask you something. Is there any sort of like compromise point? If you have a strong opinion about one of these and I have a strong opinion about it, do we meet in the middle? If you think something's an S and I think it's a D, do we meet at B? Is there like a rock, paper, scissors situation? Like, how do we solve our conflicts here, Lars?
I don't know. We'll have to see if we come upon one. Then we'll deal with it then.
Cross that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly.
And then burn that particular bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Larson,
no compromise.
Let's start with this one. I think one thing you and I can both definitely agree on: Raw is war, regardless of the iteration here, because there's one that was from 97 to 98, the other one's from 98 to 2001. Are both S tier?
So I'm going to go with the original, the flat one.
Flat one of the S tier. All right, cool.
The other one, I'm not huge on like the beveling, the extruding of it. It makes it look cheap.
Interesting.
So actually, when I kind of filled this out myself, I had that down on the B tier.
It skipped A? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Can we compromise and call it an A? Because let me point this out. Did you feel it was cheap back when it was on TV? Because I honestly don't really even remember.
I don't really recall this one with the beveling, extruding stuff. I remember the flat one.
Well, I thought I only remembered the beveled one when they started doing the fancier graphics. I don't remember. Like 98 is when they started doing the beveled one, and that's when I was like, that's when I was really into WWE.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I started watching WWE again towards the tail end 97.
Can we call that an A instead of a B?
That's fine. That's fair.
Shit,
we can roll with that.
Get rid of this stupid alert box here. I appreciate the support, everybody, but we're trying. I'm going to put this shit up on Friendo Club TV. Okay, so first issue of compromise settled. On to next business.
Right down the middle.
Which one would you like to? Hey, how about this? 93 to 97. Let's get this first logo here.
Yeah.
I mean, from a nostalgia standpoint, I would probably give. It's so simple. I like it from a nostalgia standpoint, but if somebody came up with this today, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. So to me, that screams B. I don't know.
See, I think a lot of these you have to view as a product of the times.
Okay.
You look at the not just the logo here, but the overall graphic presentation of the first few years of Raw. It's very 90s, and for what it is, it's awesome. I love it.
But isn't that your nostalgia just breaking through, Larson?
No, that's not necessarily nostalgia. That's appreciating or not appreciating things within the context.
Are we going to S tier the original logo?
No. I didn't S tier it. I A tiered it. I think it's great. Even now, I think there's a lot of these are like ugly because there's too much going on.
Oh yeah.
Simple.
Yeah. Okay.
Simple.
Okay. All right.
You get the information you need out there, and it's simple.
To get this proper, do we put this? I mean, I feel like this is A tier behind the beveled Raw's War logo. You cool with that?
Fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit.
All right.
I was a big fan of the 2016 Draft Raw logo. The one that's like a big rectangle right here.
The flat one, yeah.
I would have A-tiered that, maybe even S-tiered it. I really like that logo.
Really? I think on mine I had it as, I have it top B tier on mine.
Can we move that up to the A tier, the end of the A tier?
Fine.
All right.
Fine.
Compromise in action.
All right, let's move on to the last one you got here. This thing with the Raw, with the metal around it.
Yeah, it's encased in some metal framing.
Yeah, it's horrible.
The last one here, because
yes,
if you notice, there are two here with metal framing devices.
Yeah, no, I meant the last one, I guess, so the one on the furthest right. This ugly piece of shit here.
You want to D-tier this piece of shit?
Yeah, that's D-tier.
I raise no objection to that, sir.
That is horrible. What is that, 2002? What year was that one?
Oh, man, I have it right here.
That's 02 to 06, yeah.
Okay, that's 02 to 06. All right.
It's awful. Awful.
I have no problem with that. I'll be honest with you. Can I know you're going to shit on this one, but I love the idea that they literally stuck as an afterthought SmackDown Super Show in SmackDown font. I'd B-tier this just for the balls. It's ugly.
Oh, you B-tiered it?
I'd B-tier it. It's so ugly.
Oh, I had it on C. It's ugly.
Yeah, I know.
It's awful.
Here's the thing: they slapped on the SmackDown aspect.
I know, in the ugliest aspect possible. D tier.
D tier. Okay, how about this? I compromise with B. You compromise with C. We'll land it at D.
Oh, sorry, I meant C tier. I have C tier.
C tier. Man, I don't. It's so. I don't.
If I won't argue with D tier, if you want to D tier it.
It is literally the ugliest one on here. I actually say this is worse. And I know Dope is crying right now. But it's either ironically so good, or it's just, call it what it is, the ugliest piece of shit on here.
It's awful. It's awful. I don't know. The other one on D tier is it looks cheap and ugly. It's the worst combination.
Yeah.
Let's go to the one second from the right.
This guy right here.
This one, I believe that's the one that I when I started watching again. That's 2012 to 2014. That's the one they had when I got back into wrestling.
That's when we started. Yeah, that's when we started going in Raw. I think was this one. I think this is a pretty clean logo. I'd at least B tier it.
Yeah, that's where I got a B tier.
All right, B tier it
is. It's fine. It's simple. It's got the metallic sheen to it. I like that.
Yeah.
From a design perspective, it's not bad.
Let's take a look at the one that's next to the current one. It looks like somebody either threw up or peed on it or both. And I know those are supposed to be lights and shit, but it's not very appealing.
So if you look at it larger, like I've looked at a larger one, so it's got the metallic type sheen. Yeah. Don't mind that.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not huge on the wraparound R or W.
Yeah.
But you got the metallic kind of chrome type deal going on. That's cool. In the background, it's kind of got like a metallic thing going on back there.
It's a very metal logo with a bunch of Nickelback lights on it. I don't know if this is when Nickelback was singing the song, but I see this building right here. It seems like Nickelback is singing this one. Oh, Lou says
to 09.
Lou says this is a Nickelback era one.
Oh man, Steve's got to put it high then.
I gotta at least I don't know, man. Like, here's the thing. I think we were talking about like in action. I think this works pretty well. I'd probably low B tier it.
Yeah, I had it low B as well.
Okay, we're on the same page. Let's talk about the now. Let's talk about today.
Right. Sure.
This one, to me, the current one isn't as good as this rectangle thing up here, because the rectangle thing, it's just fucking bold. But I think it's still really solid. I think it's modern, and the current WWE logo sitting on top of it, I think, is pretty clean. I'd give this one like a, I don't know, high B tier, like maybe after this top B tier one.
I gave it, mid B. So
okay,
we're in agreement there.
All right.
Yeah, it's not too different from the rectangular one. They just put like an arch on it. That's kind of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the one on the far left.
All right. So this one.
What the fuck is that?
Well, so honestly, this one is simply Raw is War beveled without the is War.
Yeah, I know, and it's got the metal structure like they had around the Titantron at the time.
This was like a Ruthless Aggression Raw, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that.
Yeah, because this came after Raw's War.
Well, this says 2001 to 2002, the thing I have here. So this is end of Attitude Era.
Oh, is this what they closed out the Attitude Era with? And then maybe after the invasion?
It might have been. Okay.
I'm
not a huge fan of it.
Is the D tier? Is this the D tier one? The top D tier one? Was that Ruthless Aggression?
Yeah, that's 02 to 06.
02 to 06. Okay, that's interesting. So you think there's two? I think there's too much of a mesh frame. See, the Raw's War one is dominated by red with some pewter evidently or iron or whatever this is.
Yeah.
And then the tress around it. There's a lot of tress happening right here.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan. When I did mine, I had that D tier. I can't stand it.
Wow, really? And may I ask, like, because the beveled one is pretty high, but then you add all this mesh. Is it the mesh that does it? The tress?
Yeah, it's too busy.
Yeah,
it's just too busy.
There's a lot going on there. Like this should have been. Yeah, they should have brought this down a little bit. Like,
and I feel like if they were going to get rid of the Raw is War kind of co-branding, then step away from that particular aesthetic. It's like they try to retain that aesthetic and then take an aspect of the set that's recognizable and mash the two together. It just doesn't work.
Now, let me ask you this. This deal right here. Now, you already said that this one up here in D tier that leads off D tier is horribly ugly. Would you put it, is it better than this one or is it worse than that one?
I mean, at least the 2001 one we're talking about here.
Yeah.
At least it has some aspects of the greatest Raw logo of all time. So I'd say it's slightly better than the 2002 one.
All right. I'm trying to decide if I want to make a case for it being the lone C tier Raw logo. Because it is fairly similar to the A tier one. I feel like it'd be different if it was that much of a jump down. Do you want to C tier this one?
Oof.
I don't mind it. I think in action, it doesn't bother me that much.
That could be.
We'll put it C tier for now.
We'll put it there for now, and then we could readdress it if necessary. Then we got that one. That one is the...
What is this,
was that 2012, 2014?
Okay. So
no, that's earlier.
It's earlier than that?
This says 2006, 2009.
So they went from...
Or 2009, 2012. What's the background on that one?
It's like a gray gradient background.
Oh, yeah. I'm not huge on gradients in my logos, and with a few exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I feel no differently about this one.
So
C at most.
You know what this one looks like? And I think it actually probably is. This is like the design version of the one with all the piss and vomit up here, with all the fancy lights. It's like this is what they submitted the patent for, or the trademark for, the patent, like they invented it.
Yeah.
They submitted the trademark using this, and they went ahead and made like CG renders out of this one.
Yeah.
So I'm cool putting that up here. And then you know what this does? It gives an order to this one saying, hey, this is low C, borderline D, and then establishing this at its proper place.
Yes.
All right.
Let's take a look here. So Raw is War, the original Raw is War, unquestioned, S tier.
Absolutely, yeah.
The best Raw logo of all time.
Yeah.
We got this one with the beveling and such. Not as good as the original, but it's all right in its own right.
And
I imagine in motion it'd probably look better than it is just as a flat image.
On top of that, if you think about it, this one with the beveled one, they probably just got their hands on some fancy new like Maya or whatever the program is. They're like, hey, let's animate this one. I give points for effort. So yeah.
You do. The 90s, the original Raw logo, I love it.
Clean,
I think it's great.
Clean,
simple,
classic.
Clean.
It's got a whole bar up here just to house this little tiny WWF logo.
Love it.
Yeah.
But then you look at and the one you have after it is kind of like a modern update. Bars on the bottom.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Simple block Raw there.
Yeah.
It's kind of a throwback to a degree.
Yeah.
So I think A tier is pretty solid. The B tier, you got the one that when we got back into wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah.
The current one.
Yeah, it's good.
And this other one. I mean, honestly, I don't really feel like I need to raise any issues on this particular
I mean, the only thing I would do is, I guess this one is a souped up version of this one, so that makes sense. This one's all hyped up and has lights and fancy stuff. And then this one's right here. You felt pretty strong, and I respect your opinions and emotions about this one right here, about the mesh one. And then you got this pissant shit over here.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the dirt worst right there. They're awful.
How much, tell me that our Thursday show is crap without telling me that the Thursday show is crap.
I know.
It's like, man, you had that whole show to establish a second brand, which you did successfully. And by the time this Raw Super Show came around, SmackDown was such a dirt ass show that they just had to start putting SmackDown people on Raw.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's just a sign of bad news right there.
It really is. It really
So-
is. Bad booking.
Bad booking. Perhaps if the SmackDown thing wasn't down there, I would have given it a higher marks because I do kind of like the darker background here as opposed to the mesh stuff up here. But
gotcha.
you know, it's a symbol of failure. No billion-dollar deals during this era.
No, absolutely not. No.
So-
and of course, the other one, the Ruthless Aggression one, man, what were they thinking? That's horrible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So I think we successfully did this. We, staved off breaking Steven Larson up over tier ranking for the first week. So, yeah, be sure to hit that subscribe button, the notify bell. Give this video a thumbs up. If you agree with any one of these, with any of them, you got to give us a thumbs up. That's and then, of course, let us know what you guys think. What's your tier in the comment below? Thanks for watching. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Goodbye.